How do you make money as a college student? Do you work for yourself? How much do you get paid? So do you have any advice for college students that want to make money? What's the cheapest thing you've ever done? Do you have a job? What's the most you've ever made in 1 week? You are probably making more than every student here combined. What's up, you guys? So today we're here at UC Irvine, which is a nationally ranked university here in the US. And we're gonna be asking students how they make money, as well as a bunch of other questions. So if you're an aspiring college student, or you're already in college and you're looking for cool ways to make money, I think you guys are gonna get a lot of value out of this video. Anyways, let's go find some students to bother. So what's your name, age, and what are you studying?
So my name's Amir, I'm 21, and I'm studying computer science at UC Irvine.
What do you have to do with that?
I'll make a lot of money, no, I was kidding. I want to be a project manager eventually, or maybe start like a company that works on project management.
And today we're asking college students how they make money. So how do you make money?
I work at OIT, which is Office of Information Technology.
Okay.
So we just do like consulting with, I don't know, teachers and staff and faculty. Oh, that's all the same thing. And students, and we all just kind of help them with any kind of technologies.
And how'd you get that job?
On Handshake. If you apply, yeah, I applied on Handshakes. I did it because my friend pushed me to it, and then I ended up getting it, so I took it, yeah.
How much money do you make there?
Not a lot, for like $15 an hour.
That's not bad.
I worked there for like a year now. I think every year they raise it, so yet to see that, but I think they do.
And how many hours do you work per week?
This quarter, I'm taking kind of heavier workloads, so I did less. They're really flexible with hours, so I'm only doing like 8 hours a week. In summer, I did like full time.
Do you have any advice for people that want to find a job or side hustle and make money while in college?
One thing I'd recommend is if you don't have a resume, just make one. Because I have a friend that I was surprised that she didn't have one. I was like, oh, let me make one for you. So we do it together and keep those updated and constantly apply to everything. Because you never know. You'll just get a job randomly. One day, you're not even expecting it.
What's the cheapest thing you've ever done?
I was at Circle K, which is like a gas station, and I didn't have my Costco card. So I wanted to get gas, but I refused to pay like regular gas prices. So I downloaded the Circle K app and it wasn't working. So I sat there idling my car for like 30 minutes trying to figure out the app. I realized I wasted more gas waiting to try to figure out the app. So I ended up just paying full price. I was like, oh, that's so cheap. I could have just paid. Yeah, I regretted that.
I've done a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, I was waiting to download the app and find the Circle K discount. I couldn't figure out how to use their app, so.
My name's Ashley. I'm 22 and I'm studying business econ.
What do you hope to do with that?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you have a job?
I'm doing an internship right now.
Okay.
So I work as a financial planner.
How does that work?
It's commission.
Okay.
So it's if I make a sale, yes. It's sort of because it's an internship, you don't really get paid that much.
How do you pay your bills?
I just had a lot of savings.
Okay.
So mostly that, and
Nice.
then I'm thinking of just like maybe like getting a second job.
I know a lot of people are probably like strapped in cash while they're in college. Do you have any advice for them to save more money?
If you're making money, save 20% of it at least.
Okay.
That's a good rule of thumb. Live within your means, I guess.
What's the most frugal thing you've ever done?
Since I moved out like not that long ago, I have not been eating like meat because it's expensive. So I've just been eating a bunch of tofu, I guess.
Okay.
That's it, because it's like $1.
And where do you currently live?
Huntington. I live with 3 roommates.
Oh, okay. So how much do you pay for rent?
$650, which is cheaper than Irvine.
But that's
live there.
pretty far from here.
It's like 20 minutes. I actually used to commute all the way from like Torrance, and that was like an hour to an hour and a half. So like 20 minutes in comparison is not that bad.
If you were to change up one thing you've done in college, what would it be?
I went to community college. I started off with a different major. So I feel like when you're still in high school trying to actually figure out what you want to do, I feel like I sort of wasted time doing a different major and then switching. Cost-wise, that's not the smartest thing to do. Also, I feel like during COVID, like I should have made more of like the time that I had, because I had a lot of free time and I just sort of slacked off in school a little bit. Now I'm fine again.
Thanks for sharing that.
I'm Kasra, I'm 23 and I'm studying sociology.
What do you hope to do with your degree?
Absolutely nothing. I don't plan on using it. The reason why I'm getting it is to keep a smile on my mom's face. Because, I told her I was going to drop out because things were going good outside of school. And then she started tearing up, she started crying. Then 2 days later, I came back and I said, okay, fine, I'm going to continue.
So you're saying things are going well. What do you mean?
Yes. So when I was 17, I started my first business. It's a car detailing company. Throughout time, I gained so many customers. I maintained like an only 5-star review mentality. Yeah. And then from there, we just started getting leads from bigger and bigger fish.
Dude, so you're like an actual entrepreneur.
Yes.
That's it.
I know it's ironic. Well, why am I in school?
Yeah.
But, for my mom.
So what other things are you working on?
The detailing company is one. I also have a network of YouTube channels, which I started. It's within the YouTube automation niche, which has actually become very popular and still very profitable.
So how do you monetize your YouTube channels?
Ad revenue is the biggest thing. You can start out with ad revenue. You can start making money from day one if you buy a monetized channel, which is the route I'd recommend anybody takes.
If I had like, let's say $200, $300 and I want to start my own YouTube channel and do what you're doing, sort of, how should I do it?
With 200, 300, you have to do some of the steps yourself. But just hang in there, trust me. On the side, keep earning more money so you can fuel your side business, which would be, for example, YouTube. And then over time, that side business will take over your life in a good way.
And how do you pick a niche?
Good niche to pick is obviously one that pays you most per view. How you pick a niche is, you just do some research. Just go on YouTube, act like you're a regular viewer, and just search up different keywords and see what pops up. And then there's actually good platforms like vidIQ or TubeBuddy, which you can use to actually find out long tail keywords, short tail keywords that have low competition and high search volume.
What's the most you've ever made in 1 month?
I'll be honest, my accounting kind of sucks, but in terms of revenue that came in, I think it was 160,000. But once again, that's revenue, that's not profit. Roughly probably 35% profit.
So do you have any advice for students or incoming students who want to, they're going to college because their parents want them to, but they also want to explore entrepreneurship? What should they do?
So the fact that they already want to explore entrepreneurship is a big green flag. Find something, do your due diligence on it, which is the biggest part. Make sure that it's something that's actually really profitable and is sustainable for the long term. And don't do anything that's unethical. That's probably the biggest thing. You're going to sleep well at night. You're not going to have to look over your shoulder at, police, tax, fraud, whatever. Just make sure you're doing everything by the books correctly, and then just keep pushing. Stay consistent. There's like a thing or saying that said it takes about 6 months for you to truly see, something come out of your efforts. Keep working, keep being consistent. Even though it's really cliche, it turns out the most cliche things are actually the most true things. So just stick with the basics.
What's your favorite book on entrepreneurship?
I'm gonna be honest, I buy books and promise myself I'm gonna read them, but I don't actually. 21 of the 41 Laws of Power, it's very powerful. It's a little bit of a manipulative book, but if you use it in an ethical sense to, close business deals, it'll benefit you a lot.
So how do you balance all your business stuff with schoolwork?
So I'm gonna be honest, so I give a lot of my schoolwork to some of my peers to take care of, especially the essays. I really hope this school doesn't hear this, but whatever. The way I balance it is just take care of your schoolwork, and then once that's done, dedicate all your other time to your craft, whatever it may be.
I'm curious because you are probably making more than every student here combined. Like, do you tell people?
No, I like to not tell people things like this because it could come off as bragging and not humble. That sort of energy that comes out when you share something really positive, but someone may not be in the best position. Because I don't know what someone's going through, and I don't want them to think like, oh, why am I in this not so good position, but this guy is. It could bring them down in some senses, unless it's my close friend, because I know my close friends, it wouldn't come off to them as bragging. It's like, okay, good stuff, you're doing good. And they ask me questions like, what's your next step? I like that. And I do the same to them, and I always will.
Okay, so for your car detailing business, how much money did you start?
I think I spent 800, and I didn't even need to do 800. I could have done it with like 300. All I needed was, basic cleaning materials, anything that would let me get the job done. Pressure washer, cleaning materials, and that's it.
Okay, so then for YouTube automation, how much money did you start with that?
I already had money saved up for my detailing. I started off probably with like 1,000. I didn't buy a monetized channel to start with, which if I could go back in time, I would. With YouTube automation, it is one of those things where you do need to have some stomach. You need to have a little bit of money in your pocket to definitely get the ball rolling. Because it's one of those gigs, it's one of those businesses that if you put some money into, you put like 1,000 into, there's a good chance you're not going to see any results. And that might, kill your motivation and say, dang, I just spent 1,000 and nothing's come out of it yet. It's one of those things where you have to stay consistent. It could take 6 months. Eventually, I started buying channels. I had enough money to start eating up channels. I basically became a media network. Anytime I get an opportunity to buy a channel that was performing well but is now over here, you can buy it for a good price because the valuation is lower, and then just eat more and more, hire more managers, put them left and right to take care of the automation for you.
How do you manage all these people that are working for you?
So each one of my channels has their own managers. My detail company has its own managers. So there's basically tiers. There's like a hierarchy. There's, the detailers, and then there's managers, and then there's always managers overlooking some of the managers. And then the guy who's always at the top below me reports back to me when needed. And typically, I like to hear more and more about what's going on, but sometimes I just don't have time. I like to keep it minimal. So that's how I manage it with managers.
That is amazing, dude. Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So I'm not sure how we're going to top that, but let's try.
I'm Jasmine Harris. I'm 19 years old and I'm studying biological sciences.
What do you hope to do that?
I want to get hopefully my PhD in cellular and molecular biology to look at alternative cures to cancer aside from chemotherapy.
That's awesome. How do you make money as a college student?
Honestly, as bad as this sounds, sometimes I just do random jobs for people. Like if someone's like, hey, I just need someone to cook for me because I like to cook a lot. They're like, oh yeah, like I'll give you like $50 if you cook for me for the whole week. And I also braid hair. When people like ask me, they're like, oh hey, like I just need like my hair braided or detangled or washed or like a scalp treatment kind of thing. I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And everything's under $100 because it has to be college friendly because I know a lot of braiders, they charge a lot of money.
So how much would you charge for that?
Typically, it would just be like 50 or 75.
Okay, that's
like,
huge.
That's like really the highest, like 75 is like the highest. Yeah. But if someone wanted like micro braids, which they're smaller than the width of a pencil, the time that it takes for that would require a higher amount of pay. You know what I mean?
What's the most you've ever made made in 1 week?
I made $300 in 1 week.
Whoa.
To a lot of other people, it's like, okay, it's a little bit. But the people that I had were also UCI students. So sometimes I'd have them like hold my computer open or something or have it sitting on the bed. And I would be like studying my flashcards while I'm braiding hair. So I would just be like multitasking and like learning about cyclic AMP while braiding hair. And like people, it's nice that the Black community here, like they don't mind like if I'm doing things like that, or I don't mind if they're studying, because I understand you are a student and it's a little hard sometimes to take care of your natural hair when it's like not in braids. So, you know, keeping that like cultural aspect and also just the financial fairness of it is really important to me.
Do you have any tips for like spending less or being frugal?
You need to strategically put your money in certain places to make sure that you're saving enough and you're not just spending, because you don't want a negative net gain overall. You want a positive net gain, and that doesn't mean that you can't splurge, but it just means you need to be smart with allocating your money. Like my savings account and things like that is really important, making sure more goes to that and just divvying things up in percentages and keeping track of those numbers. Because I mean, I'm gonna be living on my own, not on campus very soon, and I want to be financially stable on my own and outside of my parents, you know, and hopefully give back to them and give back to the Black community with money I'll acquire later.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
My name is Ben. I'm 19 and I'm a mathematics major.
What do you hope to do with that?
I hope to become a teacher.
How did that come about? Like, how did you know you want to do that?
I've been tutoring for about 3 years now, and my mom's also a teacher, so I've seen her teach. That's really the biggest influence on my life.
So we're asking college students how they make money. I assume you make money from tutoring?
Currently, yes. I've worked a lot of different jobs as well, but currently, yeah, I do tutor, and then I'm trying to start like little business ventures here and there.
Oh. So like, what types of things are you trying to start?
Right now, I just have a few little just ideas here and there, kind of like apps and just doing like tech and stuff.
Okay.
That's my biggest thing. Like one of my ideas is just like getting an app for like roommates to like, so it's like an app that really like tells you the state of the room almost. It's like, hey, I have friends over right now, and you just click one button and it sends it to all of your roommates. And it's just like that. It's like really seamless. That's kind of what I'm working on right now.
That could actually come in handy. For your tutoring job, do you work for yourself? Like,
yeah, so I'm completely freelance right now. Okay. So I really just like go on like Facebook groups and Instagram and all different bunch of places, just put my information out there and see if anybody's really interested in having me tutor.
How much do you charge?
Right now I'm charging $25 an hour.
Okay. And how many students do you have?
I have two right now, one in middle school and another in high school. One of them is like applying for colleges right now, so really helping them like write their college essays. The other one is just really just helping them with like general like math.
My name is Ariel. I'm 19 and I'm studying English.
So as a college student, how do you make money?
Right now I'm working at the Writing Center on campus.
How'd you get that job?
I kind of just wanted like a job, and I was like, I don't want to have to go off campus. Like this would be most convenient, and I really enjoy writing, so I looked into the Writing Center and got a job there.
And what do you do for them?
So I provide peer tutor services. So like students make an appointment with us, and then we help them through different stages of the writing process.
How much do you get paid?
$17.78 an hour.
That's really good. And how many hours per week do you work normally?
8 hours.
Okay. And what do you do with the money that you make?
Save it. I'm not really a big spending person, so.
Do you live on campus?
No, I'm living off campus.
Can I ask how much rent do you pay?
So I live with like 5 other people, but my monthly rent is like $910.
Do you recommend apartment living like that or dorms?
I prefer living off campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
Living with a bunch of other people in like a dorm hall or stuff, like you have to share a kitchen with them, and it's just like not a good experience based on what I had last year. Yeah. So like living in like smaller housing, like you get to kind of choose who you live with. You get to kind of establish that environment for yourself better.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm Chuka. People call me Chuka. I'm 19 and I study mechanical engineering.
And what do you hope to do with your degree?
Well, I don't really want to be an engineer. I make music. I go by Chuka the Destroyer, and I like to be a musician instead of a mechanical engineer, but we'll see how things go.
As a college student, how do you make money?
When I'm on TikTok, I go live and I listen to people's music, and I get money from that. I get money from features, and I get money from shows.
Features and shows, what does that mean?
So I perform. Obviously, I'm a musician, so people pay me to go out to venues and perform, or people pay me to do features. My last feature I did for like $500.
Is that like when you're in a song, sort of?
Yes, exactly. That's when somebody pays me to be on their song.
And you got 500? That's awesome. So do you have any advice for college students that want to make money?
Try to think outside the box. You know, there's always opportunities to make money. I got friends that throw parties. I got friends that sell shoes, you know, reselling. So there's a lot of different ways. You just got to be creative with it.
And how do you balance that with your schoolwork?
I'm not going to lie. I struggle. I try. But it honestly, you got to think of what you got to do now. So what you got to do in the next few days, next week. And then your hobbies, for me, music, it's not really going anywhere. So you can just do it after.
Love it. Thank you so much. How much money do you get paid to do this?
My name is Yanxi Liu. My age is 20. I study poli-sci and urban study.
What do you hope to do with that?
Well, I'm thinking about going into law, but law is like super competitive.
We're asking college students how they make money. Do you have a job?
I'm having a part-time job as a tutor.
Do you work for a company or is it freelance?
It's for a company, but it's not like the rigid, 9-to-5 jobs. It's more like part-time.
How did you get that job?
Somebody actually approached me and told me like, do you need any assistance or any kind of we have this resources or that sort of things. They were actually recruiting people who are capable of teaching this course. I'm one of the students who are doing fairly good in that course, and I'm very active and everything like that. So they asked me to interview me. So I did an interview, and I think I'm pretty good on the interview part, and I just got the job.
How much do you make?
Like their promises initially was like $60-$70 an hour. But the thing is, now I'm getting like 50. I haven't figured out why like it's lower than what they promised, but like it sounds like super high. It is pretty good, but like it's a lecture, so you need to prepare PowerPoints and things like that before class. And honestly, like 2 hours of lecturing for me, it takes like 4 hours of preparation.
Okay.
So, but even that, like that's still better, more than $20 an hour.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what do you do with the money that you make?
I'm from a relatively privileged family. I'm an international student, so I'm mostly making money for fun.
Okay.
Yeah, so it goes straight into my mom's account actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm Jamal. I'm 21 years old and I'm studying business administration here at UCI.
How do you make money as a college student?
So as a college student, I'm working part-time. Okay. So I work at GNC. I sell, proteins, supplements, a bunch of stuff. And on the side, I do resell shoes.
What's the most you've ever made on a shoe flip?
Let's just go off of like a Travis Scott. I can flip it for anywhere between $200 to $300. If we're talking about a general release shoe, I can make anywhere between $50 to $100 in that.
And how do you get your inventory?
On the online releases, I have a few bots. So what it is, it's just different AIs that automatically go to the checkout. And depending on that, I have around 6 to 7 bots. Okay. So with that, I'll purchase a few of those shoes. It's not like a consistent source of income. It's just a side piece.
And how do you sell the shoes?
So I sell it through a few apps. I got Poshmark, OfferUp. I do sell on eBay, sometimes Craigslist, whatever it is.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, man. So there you have it, asking college students how they make money. We talked to some really amazing people today. I'm honestly blown away by the cool things that these students are doing. And yeah, I hope you guys got some great takeaways from this video. Anyways, if you want to get some free stocks, I'll put some links down below to Webull and Mumu. And also, if you want to become a better entrepreneur, I recommend signing up for my free newsletter called Hustle Club. We basically teach you how to become a better entrepreneur in 3 minutes or less per week. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe for more content just like this. I make a ton of videos about personal finance, investing, and entrepreneurship. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
To do is I want to one day, go into politics. I'm thinking about maybe something starting out maybe like Congress, because, I really want to, help this country. I want to bring order. I want to bring stability. I want to bring change, for our generation. And I want to be part of that. I want to be the future of this country. And that's why I want to run.
Okay.
I'm like a progressive guy,